request Mr. Sergey Bosk, Regional Manager, India, Middle East and Africa, Green Power Monitor, a DNV company. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for him.
I know. No worries. Hello, everybody. I'm very glad to be here today. After, I think, 3 years, I couldn't come. And I'm really glad that I can see you all healthy, which is very important. Today, I'm here presenting Green Power Monitor, a DNV company, also well known in the market as GPM. And basically, I'm going to talk about data-driven digital solutions for boosting the green energy transition. Why? Because this is very aligned with our vision, okay, in the company. Sorry, there you go. So we want to lead all this transition through our solutions. Basically, I have like 3 milestones to share with you today. And finally, I will share with you some real experiences, some case studies in India. So the first one is that, well, we belong to a big corporate as DNV. It was not like this all the time. Actually, we've been acquired 6 years ago. We are part of this big family as DNV. So we are a global company with local support. This is very important. So we are 200 plus employees around the globe. We have 5 technical hubs. Most importantly, we have 1 office in Bangalore in India, which is the Global Operating and Analytical Center, where we have a team, an Indian team supporting in the engineering works to all our other technical hubs around the globe, plus offering 24/7 support to our customers in terms of customer success for critical issues that happen on site in the PV plants, wind farms, storage facilities, all the facilities that we have under our management, basically for the critical ones. Second milestone is that, we are very proud and happy to be involved in one of the first of its kind projects in India. This is a solar PV plus storage project in Modhera Sun Temple in Gujarat. We provided our solution, control monitoring solution here, our SCADA, power plant controller, and energy management system. And why is this important? Well, the project itself, right, is very relevant. But for us, the impact that this project had in the local community is huge, right? We provide clean, affordable, and reliable energy source. So as you can see, this project is not that big, right? It's 6 megawatt peak solar PV, 15 megawatt hour battery energy storage system. But the control philosophy to implement that philosophy was very complex, right? And we only could do, having a strong team behind of engineers capable to develop very flexible algorithms in order to comply with this control philosophy. Apart from that, we integrated third-party, solar rooftop projects, EV charging, et cetera. Very, very challenging project. But again, as I mentioned, very proud and happy to be involved in that one. The third milestone is that we recently created a new team at GPM, which is the combination of, let's say, DNV expertise in terms of advisory, consulting, verification, and so on. More than 100 plus years of history, right? Very focused in renewables and Green Power Monitor, meaning that IT engineers, software developers, and so on. So we have a combined team right now. We call it DKT, Domain Knowledge Team, that is capable to bring the next analytics, right, to our platforms, to our control and monitoring platforms. And I'll explain you a little bit more now about the products that we are offering to the market in that regard and these real experiences that we have implemented in India. But as I mentioned before, we want to contribute to the green energy transition. We need a boost, actually, right? I guess that all the participants here, they are involved in this transition and want to be involved somehow. So the thing is that we do know that this energy transition is going to be tough, it's going to be challenging, but at the same time, I hope you are with me, we are ready and we love challenges, right? And this is in our spirit, this is part of our values, right, as a company. So in order to boost that energy transition, this green energy transition, at GPM we have 4 pillars, right? This is basically our strategy. Advanced analytics, I'm going to talk a little bit about this today. But then we have multi-technology. As I mentioned before, we are working in hybrid projects, mainly in 3 technologies, solar, PV, wind, and storage. asset management, so how to operate efficiently a portfolio, and specifically mixed portfolios. And finally, grid integration, no? Get closer to the grid, not only for complying with the grid code of any country, but to really provide the ancillary services for battery storage projects and really provide the next level of control philosophies, right, for complex projects. So this is the, let's say, one of the new solutions, right, that we're offering to the market. This is PV Advanced Analytics. We call it Solar Gemini. And basically what we pretend, and this started to happen just last year, to be honest with you, while GPM bought a new technology called PEAK. This was the first time that GPM bought or acquired a technology in our history. Again, you can imagine, no, the pros and cons of that. But it was very interesting because it allowed us to really add on top of our current offering, which is a SCADA, power plant controller, asset management solutions, another layer, right? Going beyond the pure data acquisition of data, the high-frequency data, and the normal analytics that we could do even through SCADA, right? And actually, the benefits that we see here are twofold, right? So these advanced analytics provide, let's say, these hidden losses, right, from a site, the losses that you cannot see with the SCADA, the losses that the technicians on site, they cannot even perceive. So it's just finding these missing kilowatt hours or megawatt hours to increase that production, right? So to make the asset more, let's say, high performing, but also to reduce the OPEX, right? To reduce the maintenance, the operation and maintenance cost. So these twofold benefits are very important to take into account, okay? Implementing these solutions. So this is a bit our portfolio, our experience. We've been working with hundreds of plants in different countries. As I mentioned before, I will skip it just for sake of time. This is very important. We have some, let's say, results, okay, through these case studies. Basically, we work in India, in Germany, in Italy. And these figures, well, I mean, it depends on every project, right? So you can see 30% gain potential. You see 2% in soiling improvement. So the important thing here is not these numbers itself, right? These figures, these digits. Every project is different. So we find, like for instance, in high-performing assets, well, the gain maybe is 0.5, 1%. You cannot look for impossibles, right? But still, if we're talking about a large plant, let's say 500 megawatt plant, well, 0.5, 1% is a lot, right, of gain. So we have to really understand these figures in a case-by-case scenario, right? But what is important is that there's always findings that our current solutions cannot really provide to us, right? And just jumping to the case studies, these are the real projects that we have done. In this case, in India, it was very interesting because when we implement our solution, it's only software solution, software as a service solution, right? We don't even to implement any hardware on site, right? What we do is we get the data from SCADA, normally. We analyze this data, and then through these algorithms, this machine learning, all the knowledge, the intelligence behind the scenes, they just provide key findings, right? And some hints. In this case, for instance, only with the software implemented in one plant, we realized that there were 47 findings, right? Okay. But then when the on-site team, the O&M team, went to the site to really cross-check if these findings were true or not, wow, they find that, yes, all these 47 were true, just all analyzed by a software. Pretty impressive, right? And there's different examples, inverted efficiency, a string underperforming, et cetera, et cetera. Well, as you can see, a breakdown. We have more examples. In Italy, I'm going to skip this one. France, as I mentioned before. Germany, okay, another one. Well, another example was with soiling. So even without having soiling sensors, which again, I fully recommend, to be honest, to have always sensors on site to contrast the data, but even without them, just having the currents of the strings and some more data, the software itself could improve 2.5% this loss impact, right, of soiling. So there's a lot of, sort of intelligence behind the software. Obviously, we have data scientists, we have IT engineers, software developers, I would say very intelligent people working on that. And this is just the beginning, okay? These are a few examples that were developed actually 2 years ago in this case. So we're coming up with more intelligent, predictive analytics to understand how, for instance, the inverter is going to fail in 1 week, in 15 days, et cetera, et cetera. And just for the sake of time, please, if you want to come over to the Hall 14, we have our booth, DNB. It's going to be a pleasure for us to really chat with you. And if you have further questions, yeah, you have our emails over there. Thank you very much.